We're going to explain now a bit more about the image size and the resolution of the image, which is the quality of a certain image, and how we can change different sizes, or how we can change the size of different layers in the same document. So first of all, when I choose File New, we said before that we have to specify the size here. So let's say that we choose A4, for example. The A4 has fixed dimensions in, for example, centimeters, 21 for width and 29.7 for height. It also has, the document also has a resolution factor. The resolution dictates the quality of the image that I'm working with. The higher the resolution, the better the quality. This is extremely important when you go and print your project. Now, the default resolution is 72 pixels per inch. Now, what does resolution mean? Yeah, it is a factor of quality, but let me explain it in a bit more detail. So here we have the resolution to be 72 pixels per inch. It means what? I'm gonna press OK. I'm gonna choose now to show the rulers. So I'm gonna go to View and Rulers. This will show me rulers in width and height. If I right click anywhere on the ruler, I can choose the unit of the display. For example, I'm gonna choose inch. I can choose centimeter. So here I would get 21 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. So you can choose whatever you like. But because the resolution is measured in pixel per inch, I'm gonna choose for now inch. So if I want to get an area of 1 inch, 1 by 1 inch squared, I can go, for example, to the rectangle tool down here. Now here you should pay attention to something. Whenever you have a little arrow at the corner, it means that you can click and you get a sub menu. Alright, so whenever you have an arrow, you can click and you get a sub menu. Alright, there. So what I'm looking for is the rectangle, and I'll draw a rectangle that fits 1 by 1. 1 by 1. So if I zoom over this area, here I have 72 pixels in total. Why? Because the image size that I chose is 72 pixels per inch. So in 1 inch squared area I have 72 pixels. This is what it means. Now the more pixels I have in this area, the higher the quality, and the better is gonna be my image when I print it. So here I have 72 pixels. If I had more, let's say 200 pixels, the image would be more defined. If I had 300 pixels, it would be even better. So whenever I choose File New, if I'm creating a project for print for a client or for Mr. Sharbil or for whoever is gonna take the project, you should choose a high resolution, something around 300 pixels per inch. 300. So this is when you work with high quality graphics. Now when you work here in class, we use always 72 because we want this to be as fast as possible. Because the higher the resolution, although the better the quality, but the slower the machine. Even if you had a very fast machine, eventually it will get slower if you have a big resolution. So for projects, real projects that I would give you or you see from a client or in any other course, you put 300 for resolution, but for tests and assignments that we do in class, we use 72. So this should be clear for you. Alright, and here we have the mode. Whenever we create images that we send, for example, by email, we use RGB color. Because RGB color is used mainly for computer display. So whenever you want to see the image on the internet, email it, or just see it, you're going to have it set in RGB color. Whenever you're going to print it, it should best be in CMYK. CMYK. Now, what does RGB stand for? Yeah, RGB is red, green, and blue. CMYK is what? Yeah, and black. Very good. The K is for the black. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Grayscale means that you have a black and white image, and gray included. So grayscale is an image with no colors. Bitmap is an image with colors, but it cannot have transparency, which is something that we need sometimes. So if you look down here, you see that transparent is off. So the modes we use the most are RGB color for a regular computer display. We use this especially for web design. Later on, some of you will take the web design course with me, so then we'd always be using RGB color. Now for print, we use CMYK color. For the classwork, we're going to use RGB color. And here, the contents, I have white, background color, and transparent. Which means what? Which means if I create a new document, let's say 640 times 480 for now, and if I choose the contents to be white and press OK, let's remove the ruler now because we don't need it at this stage. So view and uncheck ruler. So the content here is white, so I get a white image. If I change the background color to something like red, and I choose file new, and this time choose background color, there's the background color down here. So if I choose the content to be the background color, what would the color of the image be? Red. So if I press OK, I'm going to get this color red. If I choose file new and I choose transparent, I'm not going to have any color at all. Not white, not red, not anything. So if I press OK, I'm going to get this checker mark that tells me that I have nothing. So this is an indication that you have nothing, no color. Alright, so again, file new and set the content to white for now. So now I have an image that's 640 times 480, which is pretty small. It's not big like A4 or A3 or something that I specify in centimeters. Alright, so now we know about the size of a new document that we create. Sabaya. We know about the size of a new document that we create. How can we change now the size of an image that we have opened? It's very simple. Let's open an image first. Let's say this image here. Before I change the size, how can I actually figure out what the size is? Yeah, right click here on the toolbar and image size. And here it would say 1280 by 960 in pixels. If I want to see this in centimeters, I'd go down to document size and choose centimeter. And let's look down here. Now this is the most important concept in Photoshop, what I'm going to explain now. And I'll explain it over and over to make sure that you understand it very well. And this concept relates the resolution to the size of the print. It relates to the size of the print to the resolution and the number of pixels. So what is number of pixels, which is how many colored dots I have? I have 1280 in width, that's the width, and 960 in the height. That's number of pixels. I don't want to change number of pixels. I want to keep the same number. What I can do, however, is change the resolution, which is how many pixels I have per centimeter or per inch. So at a resolution of 72 pixels per inch, when I print this image, it's going to be 45 centimeters by 33 centimeters, approximately. When I print this image at a resolution of 72, it's 45, which is almost like this, by 33, which is like that, approximately. But the quality will not be very good because the resolution is how much? 72. What is a good resolution? 300. So if I choose 300 here, the number of pixels changed. I have more pixels now. Because whenever I increase the resolution, the number of pixels has to increase. And therefore Photoshop will fill in pixels between my existing pixels. So if I had, for example, a red pixel and a yellow pixel, like somewhere over here, red and yellow, Photoshop will put between them what? An orange pixel. You understand? Because it has to put something. It increased the number of pixels because I increased it from here. So Photoshop has to fill in the gaps. You have pixels, but you need more because you need a high resolution. So Photoshop has to fill in the gaps. It has to put something in between. So it has to guess on what color it has to put. So if you have red and yellow, it's gonna put orange. If it had, for example, blue and white, it's gonna put what? Light blue. And so forth. So let's see how this works. Before I change the resolution, I go to 100%. That's the 100% of my image without increasing the resolution. I want to keep this image and have another image that I'm going to increase the resolution and compare the two to see the difference if if it's something good or bad. So right click, and this time I'm going to choose what? Duplicate. I can give it a different name and press OK. So now I have the same image twice. So this is called sunlit, this is called sunlit copy, for example. I need to be at 100%, so Control plus, and there's the 100%. Now for this new one, sunlit copy, I'm going to right click, image size, and I'm going to increase the resolution, say to 300. You will see that we have more pixels and the file size increased a lot. It tells me it was 3.5 megabytes, now it's 61 megabytes. So it's almost how many times bigger? Almost 20, a bit less than 20, because you had 3.5, you have 60, مش 6. So let's press OK now. Okay. So this is the 100% now. This is the 100% for the unchanged image, but this is the 100% for the changed image. You see that it gets blurry. It's not very sharp anymore. Why? Because Photoshop had to guess what color for the pixels to insert. They are not the real colors of the image. They are called interpolated colors, which are colors that come between two other colors. Right? Yeah, when you increase number of pixels, you would get a bigger image, but not necessarily a better quality, because you see that the quality degraded. It got worse. You see, it's not very good. When you print something like this, it's unprofessional. When you print something of low quality like this, it's unprofessional. So the question is now, is there a way to increase the quality of an image if it's low resolution? Can I make it high resolution and still keep a high quality? The answer actually is no. Now, today, with today's technology, the answer is no. We cannot make an image bigger and keep it high quality. If you make an image bigger, it's gonna get blurry. Blurry means it's not sharp anymore. You see, it's something bad. So what is the solution then? The solution is to start with high resolution images. So in my case, for example, if a client comes to me and says, I want you to do this poster for me, I would go and take my own photos with a high resolution digital camera and therefore get high resolution images to start with and then build up my project. I would not go online and download images and work with them, because that would not be a good thing to do, because the images you will get are always going to be low resolution. Another solution is to buy CDs that contain high resolution images. There are CDs that you can buy that contain high resolution images that you can use in your work, in case you are not a photographer or you don't have a digital camera. You can use these to create your projects, and I allow you to actually to do that. But whenever I ask you to do a project, a real project, and we're going to do this starting next week, you should always get high resolution images. Is this clear for everyone? So when we go to image size and we increase the resolution from here, you're not going to get a better quality. You're not. What you should do is start off with a high resolution image by going to File, New, and setting this to 300, and setting, of course, the size in centimeters. So whenever I ask you a project, let's say create a poster or an ad, billboard ad that's 2 meters by 1 meter, for example, you type here 200 centimeters by 100 centimeters, and you set the resolution to 300, for example. Then you have your blank document, and you start to put images inside that. Now, when you start to put images inside that, you have the option to scale up and down the individual images, which is what we're going to do right now.